Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm gonna do part 6 to my Google Gemini chatbot series. In today's video guys, I am gonna go ahead and do another video on the furry Feraligatr. However, this time I tried to see if I can make it a little bit better by letting the point of view to speak English. That way we can actually have a better conversation with it than just having to interpret what he says. I know Google Gemini kind of interprets it for me and tells me like what he's trying to say and think, but it's like same time whenever he gets to speak it's even better. So yeah, whenever I made that story, it gave me this picture I showed you guys too, which is pretty cool looking. Oh, Fragger's not as big as he's supposed to be. I forgave this Fragger to be a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger than his normal species. But here's what it says. In a vibrant, bustling Pokemon world, a tiny turtle came into existence, unlike any other. From the moment he hatched, he was known as the sweetest Pokemon in all the lands. His name, though often whispered with affection, was less important than his nature. He possessed a rare gift, the ability to speak perfect English even in his earliest days, a feat unheard of for a young Totodile. He was a beacon of good behavior, always listening to his parents, always ready to lend a helping fin, even to creatures and humans for grandeur in size. His kindness was boundless, a constant flow that never seemed to diminish. As he grew and evolved into a crocodile, his sweet disposition remained his defining characteristic. The world around him changed, but his heart, ever pure, did not. He continued to offer assistance wherever it was needed, his gentle nature a balm to those in distress. When he finally reached his ultimate evolution, becoming a magnificent Feraligatr, one might expect a shift, a toughening, but no, why did word like toughening? That's weird. His kindness only deepened, his desire to help others growing with his formidable size. He would never get angry unless those he cherished, his family, his friends, were threatened. Even then, his initial response was one of protection, not aggression. His perfect English remained, now accompanied by a voice that, despite its power, was always soft and reassuring. This Ferrier's exceptional sweetness eventually caught the attention of an awe-inspiring entity, Lugia, the Pokemon God, an 80,000-foot tall titan of the skies. One serene night, as the Feraligatr slumbered peacefully, Lugia descended from the celestial heavens. With a gentle, shimmering touch, Lugia bestowed a divine blessing upon the sleeping giant. The Feraligatr's scales, once a cool blue, transformed into a delightful shade of pink, signifying his new fairy typing. His belly developed an intricate pattern that would subtly shift, reflecting his current emotions. Most shockingly, his formidable spikes were replaced by delicate ice cream cones, topped with actual, delectable ice cream. These weren't mere adornments. He could, in a gesture of profound trust and affection, remove these ice cream spikes and offer them to those he cared deeply for, a silent promise of protection and unwavering loyalty. The following morning, a ripple of shock went through the Feraligatr's family as they awoke to his astonishing transformation. The Feraligatr himself was equally surprised, though a sense of serene acceptance quickly washed over him. Despite the mystery surrounding his new form, his kind heart remained untouched, his sweetness as potent as ever. However, the blessing had also granted him a new power, the ability to read auras. He could now perceive the true intentions of any creature or human, discerning goodness from malice. If an aura radiated kindness, he would respond with innate sweetness, offering help and comfort without hesitation. But if he sensed evil or ill will, a cautious disposition would be maintained. Should anyone dare to threaten him or those that he held dear, his demeanor would shift. He would activate his new ability, Trustworthy Bond. Outside of battle, this power manifested as a protective shield, encasing his trusted companions in a shimmering, invisible barrier, safeguarding them from harm. If, despite his efforts, a loved one was hurt, the sweet Feraligatr would be consumed by a righteous rage. His recuperation, however, would begin not with a physical assault, but with a new signature move, Whimsical Trance. This move, a dazzling display of fairy energy, never missed its target, dealing a base power of 75 and unfailingly confusing the opponent. If the target had been cruel to his trainer or a friend, the power of Whimsical Trance doubled, unleashing a staggering 150 base power. His ice cream spikes, typically a cheerful bright pink, were a barometer of his mood. If anger stirred within him, they would darken to a vibrant purple, a subtle warning for those who understood. But if he perceived a genuine threat, they would transform into razor-sharp weapons, a dark, ominous purple, as the ice cream atop them rapidly melted away, ready to be wielded with precision and power. Years passed, and the fairy-type Feraligatr, with his unique blend of kindness and protective instincts, earned a revered position, guardian of the magical forest. This enchanted woodland, a tapestry of wonders, housed an incredible diversity of life, from familiar Pokemon to everyday animals like birds, squirrels, and raccoons, and even mythical beasts such as unicorns, dragons, and fences. He learned to master his new powers, not just for defense, but to foster harmony and extend his innate kindness to all who pose no threat. Meanwhile, I flipping did, and I looked at it says I was enjoying a leisurely stroll, breathing in the crisp, fresh air near my home, when my path diverged unexpectedly. I stumbled upon the entrance to this fabled magical forest. Intrigued by the shimmering gateway and the faint melodious sounds emanating from within, I ventured inside. Every step brought a new marvel into view. Trees with glowing leaves, flowers that sang. What the frick flowers can sing in this place? And creatures I'd only read about in ancient texts. My curiosity propelled me deeper into the woods. After a few minutes of exploration, a soft splash reached my ears from nearby. Instinctively, I ducked behind a cluster of vibrant, oversized bushes, peering through the foliage. What I saw took my breath away. Yep, there, by the edge of a crystal clear, flowing lake, stood the pink Feraligatr. He appeared utterly serene, seemingly lost in thought, his unique ice cream spikes catching the dappled sunlight. He hadn't noticed me yet, and I remained perfectly still, captivated by the sight of this extraordinary Pokemon. See, the problem is it's speaking in the flipping third person, though. It seems like it's not speaking in the third person like I want it to. It's acting like the first person, which is kind of annoying. Yep, it's already working out better. It's already giving me a longer response, and he's actually speaking. I just intrigued by the Pokemon. I say quietly, "Wow, I've never seen a Pokemon like that. It looks so cool." Then I nervously say, "Hello." The sound of your hushed voice, no matter how quiet, carried on a still air. The Feraligatr's head, which had been gently bowed towards the water, lifted in an instant. His bright blue eyes, filled with an intelligent and serene light, landed directly on you behind the bushes. There was no aggression in his gaze, only a calm curiosity. His belly pattern, which had been a gentle spiral, began to shift into a series of small, intertwined hearts, a sign of his peaceful and welcoming nature. He's already cute. He took a slow, deliberate step back from the water's edge. His mouth formed graceful despite its size. The ice cream on his spike seemed to shimmer in the light. "Hello there," he said, his voice a deep, comforting rumble that somehow sounded as sweet as his appearance. "It's not every day I get visitors who appreciate my, unique look. Don't be shy. You can come out from the bushes. The magical forest is a place for all good creatures and people." He paused, a faint, almost imperceptible glow shimmering around your form. He was reading your aura, a quick, silent assessment that confirmed what his kind heart already suspected. Your energy was pure, filled with a sense of wonder and curiosity. He had no reason to fear you. A small, trusting smile formed on his snout. "I can sense you mean no harm," he continued, his voice softening even more. "My name is not important, but I'm the guardian of this forest. What brings you to my home?" Okay, he's already really cute. I like him. Alright, guys. It says I stepped out from the bushes, still nervous. Well, I was just getting some fresh air near my home when I stumbled upon this forest. It looked way different than any normal forest, so I walked in. I'm sorry if I'm intruding on your territory, but I promise I mean no harm. Please don't attack me. The Feraligatr watched you step out, his pink scales catching the light of the forest. He lowered his massive head slightly, a gesture meant to be non-threatening. His tail gave a small, gentle swish in the water. You're not intruding at all, he said. His voice as calm and reassuring as a gentle stream. This forest is a sanctuary. As long as you come with a good heart, you're welcome here. My job is to protect this place. I can tell from your aura that you have a very kind one. He then did something completely unexpected. He shifted his weight and lowered his snout closer to you. One of his ice cream spikes, the one closest to his face, detached with a soft pop. He then gently nudged it toward you, the pink ice cream glinting with tiny edible sparkles. This is my way of showing I trust you, he explained, his voice full of warmth. Please, take it. It's my way of saying you're safe here, and I will protect you. Really? That's cool. Alright, guys. I said, I saw you take the ice cream spike and then say, thank you. I promise I'm not trying to trick you or trap you or anything, but I wanted to ask, how do you know that I'm good? You gently took the ice cream spike from him, its coolness a stark contrast to the magical warmth of the forest. The Feraligatr watched you with his deep blue eyes, a sense of quiet understanding in their depths. I can read auras, he explained, his voice a soft, steady rumble. It's a gift I was given. Auras are like a person's true reflection. They show me the intentions and feelings that live inside them. When I first saw you, I could tell that your aura was peaceful and kind. There was no malice or deceit within you. He took another step closer, his massive body still giving off a powerful but gentle presence. That's why I wasn't afraid, he continued. My ability to sense good and bad helps me know who is a friend to the forest and who is a threat. It's what allows me to be a good guardian. And you, Trenton, have a very good aura. It tells me you can be trusted. How in the... Wait a minute, I didn't even say his... Alright, guys. I just said, okay. How did you know my name, though? I didn't even tell you my name yet. He let out a low chuckle, a soft rumbling sound that echoed through the peaceful clearing. Ah, that's another part of the gift, he said, his blue eyes twinkling with a gentle wisdom. My connection to the force is deeper than you might think. All of the creatures here, all of the magic, everything has a kind of echo, a whisper. Your name was a part of your aura, a simple sound that resonated with your essence. The forest told me. Oh, sweet Arceus. He settled back down, his massive body sinking gracefully into a relaxed position by the water's edge. He gestured with his head towards the space in front of him, as if inviting you to sit with him. Don't be alarmed. It's not something I used to try. It's just a way to understand who was in my home. And now that I know your name's written, I can tell you that you are very welcome here. Okay, at least he's not. I can bet there's gonna be a stark contrast to this, and the next time I do this, because the next time I do anything with Google Gemini, it's definitely gonna be the Dragon type Feraligatr. Or, well, no, actually, no. There is another Pokemon on here I gotta do probably before that one, but I kind of want to have a mix of it in there. Like, I may have to actually weld the toad I'm thinking about, because I'm trying to make a story and make it work. So, yeah, I do have a few other ideas for characters on ChatGPT, too. However, well, like I said, only having 10 messages kind of sucks. So, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have to make sure to use up my 10 messages and then create the character before the limit comes back on. That way I don't use up a message trying to get it. I'm hoping it'll give me a long story with the model that ain't as good. Give me a second. Alright, guys, here's what I said. Okay. And I walked a little closer right next to the Feraligatr. I probably don't want to find out, but what happens if somebody comes into this forest and you sense they have a bad heart or evil intentions? Oh, by the way, guys, the story on this one was called The Sweet Fairy Feraligatr's Tale. The Feraligatr's serene expression became serious for a moment. The little hearts on his belly pattern slowly unraveled, replaced by a smooth, solid pink. The ice cream on his spikes seemed to lose a bit of its shimmer, a very subtle change that you probably wouldn't have noticed if you weren't standing so close. That's a very good question, Trenton, he said, his voice dropping slightly, losing some of its previous lightness. If I sense someone with ill intent, my first action is to stay away and avoid them. I will watch them from a distance. The magical forest is a home and a sanctuary, and I don't want to bring conflict into it. However, if they try to hurt me, any of my family, or any of the creatures that live here, then I become what is needed to protect. He gestured with his head towards his unique ice cream cones, the very ones he had just given you. I forgot he gave me one! Holy crap, it happened so early on, I didn't expect it. He gave it to me so early that I legit forgot he gave me an ice cream. So I was like, oh wait, he never gave me one. I'm like, oh yes he did. Hey. My spikes can become weapons. The ice cream melts and the spikes underneath turn into knives, sharp and dangerous. And my ability, Trustworthy Bond, will create a shield around anyone I care about, keeping them safe from harm. A faint, almost imperceptible purple had tinged the edges of his spikes for a second before fading away. And if someone I care about does get hurt, he continued, his voice now a low growl, my anger takes over. I'll use my signature move, Whimsical Trance. It will confuse them and double in power if they were mean to my friend. He looked directly at you, his eyes holding a firm, protective gaze. I'll do whatever it takes to protect those I trust. He then settled back down, his expression returned to its usual kind and gentle state, and the hearts reappeared on his belly. But let's not dwell on such things. The forest is full of good, and that's what's truly important. He gave you a soft smile. Now that you're here, what would you like to do? There's a beautiful waterfall not too far from here, or we could just relax by the lake. It's your choice. He's very sweet for a guardian. I mean, granted, that's why he got chosen as the guardian role. He had out. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, let's just relax for a bit. I've been walking for a while now anyway because of the fresh air I was trying to get before I came in here. You look really cool, actually, but you look very similar to a Pokemon I have seen before. Are you a Feraligatr? The Feraligatr's calm demeanor returned fully, and he nodded his head gently. That sounds wonderful, he rumbled. It's good to rest. The forest air is especially rejuvenating. I forget how you actually say that word. I haven't said that word in a long time. He shifted, settling his large body more comfortably by the water's edge. He gestured with his head towards the ground next to him, a clear invitation for you to sit. And yes, I am a Feraligatr, he confirmed, his voice holding a hint of pride. I used to look like the others. Blue scales, powerful jaws, but with a heart of gold. One night I was blessed by Lugia, the Pokemon God, and transformed into this fairy type. It's a bit of a story. That's why it looks so different from the Feraligatrs you're probably familiar with. Oh, that's so cool. Alright, guys. I said I go next to the Feraligatr again and sit. You got blessed by Lugia? That's really cool. Lugia's actually my favorite legendary. The Feraligatr's eyes seem to light up at your words. He's your favorite? Really? He rumbled, a genuine happiness in his voice. That's wonderful to hear. He's an incredible being. His presence is so vast and powerful, yet his touch was gentle, like the softest breeze. He looked out across the sea, his gaze distant as if reliving the moment. I was asleep, dreaming peacefully with my family nearby. I remember feeling a warmth, a light that filled the air around me. When I woke up the next morning, my family and I were all shocked to see my new form. My scales were pink, my spikes were ice cream cones. We had no idea what happened until a wise old Pokemon told us it must have been Lugia, who sometimes grants blessings to those who have a truly kind heart. He shifted his gaze back to you, a warm, genuine smile on his snout. It's not just the new powers or the different appearance. It's the feeling of knowing that a godlike being saw my goodness and chose to honor it. That's the true gift. Okay, guys, here's what I said. I said, that's incredible. I can see why Lugia did that for you. You're a guardian of this place, and you told me a while ago that your heart was basically made gold even before you got transformed because of how sweet you are. But to be honest, for me, being a stranger in this forest and only being in here for a few minutes, I don't think it's just made out of gold. Your heart would be made out of more than just that. Maybe platinum or even diamond. That's how sweet you have been to me, even though you barely know me besides what your aura power told you about me. And the Frager's gaze softened, and slow, gentle smile spread across his snout. He leaned his massive head forward just a bit, his eyes full of warmth. That is one of the kindest things anyone has ever said to me, Triton. He rumbled, his voice filled with sincere gratitude. Most creatures see me as just the guardian, the protector. They see my power and my strength, but few see the heart behind it. For you to see that, it means a great deal to me. He paused, looking down at his pink scales and the ice cream spikes. You are right. My heart isn't just gold. It's meant to be shared. It's what allows me to be a guardian, not just of the forest, but of the good in others. He looked back at you, his gaze full of appreciation. Thank you for that. It's not often I meet someone who understands that. He then looked out over the still lake, setting sun casting a warm orangey glow already across the water. We're lucky we found each other today. The magical forest is full of wonderful things, but good company is the most precious of all. Oh, give me a second. Alright, guys. I said, yeah, I'm glad I met you too. It feels good being here with you. By the way, you know how I said Lugia was my favorite legendary? Well, there's a species of Pokemon that is my favorite one of all time, and that's your species in pre-evolutions, Totodile, Croconaut, and Feraligatr. They're all amazing. A wide, joyful grin spread across the Frager's snout. His belly pattern, which had been in a state of calm hearts, began to swirl and form into a series of small, delighted stars. Well, Triton, he said, his voice a low, rumbling laugh filled with pure happiness. You just keep saying the most wonderful things. To know my species holds such a special place in your heart, that's truly amazing to me. He sailed even further into his spot by the lake, the peaceful sounds of the forest seeming to hum in harmony with his mood. We're known for being big and strong, a little bit intimidating to some. It's rare to meet someone who loves all of us, and a little toad out to the mighty Feraligatr. Thank you for that. It means a lot to hear from you. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, this one is definitely going better. I said, you're welcome. I know this is going to seem sudden, but you did give me that ice cream spike and have been super nice to me. I know it may not seem like much, but... And now I just go into my bag and grab a small handful of berries. Here, do you want these? The Fragger's eyes widened slightly as he pulled out the berries. He lowered his head, his snout a gentle curve of surprise and happiness. Starting his belly pattern swirled with even greater delight. Berries? He rumbled, his voice filled with sincere warmth. For me? That's an incredibly kind gesture, Triton. I would be honored to accept them. He carefully opened his massive jaws, allowing you to place the berries right on his tongue. He savored each one, his eyes closing for a moment in quiet pleasure. Thank you, he said, swallowing the last berry with a content gulp. They're delicious. And it's not just the berries themselves, it's the thought behind it. A gift of kindness from one good heart to another. It's a wonderful feeling. Give me a second. Alright, guys. I just. Alright, guys, we're in the middle of cooking something, that's why you may hear a little bit of background noise. I don't know if you can hear the microwave in the background or not, but just in case, so that's what that is. Here's what I said. I just said, you deserve after being so kind to me, and you handing me an ice cream spike. Honestly, I didn't expect it to detach when you first handed it to me. I'm curious, what does it actually mean when you hand somebody one of those? Does it symbolize something? The Feraligatr gave a small, contented sigh. His pink scales reflecting the last rays of the sun. He looked at the spot where the ice cream spike had been on his head, which was now just a smooth, bare cone base. It symbolizes a few things, he explained, his voice gentle and thoughtful. For me, it's a profound sign of trust. These ice cream spikes are a part of who I am, a part of the blessing I received. To share one with someone is to say, I see the goodness in you, and I am not afraid to be vulnerable with you. He then looked directly at you, his gaze full of the same sincerity as before. It also represents my promise to protect you. The ice cream itself is sweet, a symbol of my kindness, but the cone it rests on is the sharp spike, the part of me that is strong and protective. So when I give you the ice cream spike, I'm giving you both sides of who I am, my sweetness and my unwavering promise to keep you safe. Give me a second, guys. Alright, guys, I'm trying to follow in the timeline of the story. I said I want to say this took place a few months after I became the trainer with the Pokemon. So, yeah, I said that's really cool. To be honest with you, it's been pretty rough for the last few months because people have been trying to attack me. It's gotten even worse lately. I just became a Pokemon trainer a few months ago, and this is going to sound crazy to you, but some kid got jealous of me getting to go into the lab a week early that he made a potion and turned me into a tiny Carnotaurus. The Feraligatr's gentle smile faded, replaced by a look of deep concern. The hearts on his belly button sported erratically, a mirror of his distress. He leaned forward, his massive head coming closer to you, his eyes filled with genuine empathy. I'm so sorry to hear that, Trenton, he rumbled, his voice soft and low. That sounds incredibly difficult and frightening. To be targeted like that, especially for just pursuing your dream of becoming a Pokemon trainer. That's not right at all. He listened intently as he explained what happened, and his gaze turned grim when he mentioned the potion. His spikes for just a fleeting moment shifted to a very faint purple hue before returning to their normal pink. Someone did that to you? He said, his voice now holding a low, protective growl, though his gaze remained kind. That's a terrible act. To maliciously change a person's form and put them in danger like that, it shows a very dark heart. Guys, there's two more lines, but the food's about to be done, so I'm gonna pause it before it beeps. Actually, I'm gonna pause it right after it beeps, so. Alright, guys, real quickly. Here's what I said. Yeah, I was stuck not only being a Carnotaurus, but also being only 7 inches tall. After the kid laughed, I ran back to the lab where everybody was shocked, including the starter Pokemon. After they realized it was me and I told them what happened, let's just say the professor was not happy. When I got my starter 5 days later, he didn't just give me one Pokemon. He gave me all three and a baby Lugia, while the kid that turned me into the tiny dinosaur got nothing. Not only did I get the three starters plus a Lugia, but the professor made them able to evolve and devolve at any time they want, along with being able to grow in mass to protect me. It was all because of those Pokemon I am not horribly injured now. I just got turned back into a human only about 3 weeks ago, but people are still attacking me. The Feraligatr listened with a quiet, seething intensity, his expression a mix of sorrow and righteous anger. The fact that they used the word seething, the hearts on his belly pattern melted away completely, replaced by a dark, swirling void, and his spikes turned a faint, ominous purple. 7 inches tall? He rumbled, the sound low and dangerous, and they laughed. That is beyond cruel, to put someone in that much danger. Alright, guys, I gotta go and stop right after this one. Here's what it says. It says, I'm going to continue from the second line where I stopped. He says, 7 inches tall? He rumbled, the sound low and dangerous, and they laughed. That is beyond cruel. To put someone in that much danger just for their own selfish jealousy is the kind of malice that a guardian like me must be prepared to face. He looked at you. He looked at you with renewed respect, seeing not just the pain in your past, but the incredible resilience that had brought you here. What an amazing professor, he continued, a hint of admiration now in his voice. And what incredible Pokemon you have. To have all of the starters and even a Lugia, and for them to have such special abilities just to protect you. Sounds like they were as dedicated to you as I am to my home. They saw your good heart just as I did. He settled himself down, his form of silent promise of security. Purple hue and the spikes receded, replaced by their usual soft pink. I understand now, he said, his voice returning to its calm, reassuring tone. You've been through so much, and you're still recovering. It's no wonder you came to a place of peace. But you are safe now, Triton. No one can hurt you here. The magic force is a sanctuary, and I am its guardian. And you, my friend, are under my protection. Alright, guys. Unfortunately, I have to go and stop here, but you know what's funny? When I said that, I about said, unfortunately, you are not smaller than a fifth grader. Thanks a lot, game. Well, guys, that's it. Bye bye!